Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report, and today's mailbag is presented by Panda Supps. Use code TEST to get 25% off at pandasupps.com. That link's going to be available for you guys in the comments and in the description of today's video. If you're trying to get into some, I'm talking like legit shape, Panda Supps is going to help you do that. Let's go to the first super chat. Rolling on through today's show. Venthrak. Do we know the Raiders rookie jersey numbers yet? I can't find them anywhere. We do. I actually have them written down. Tyree Wilson, number 9. Michael Mayer, 87. Byron Young, 93. Trey Tucker, 89. Jacorian Bennett, 29. Aiden O'Connell, 4. Nice. Chris Smith, 42. We got Amari Burney, 56. Jade Sylvester, 97. And then if you want to know some other player numbers, McClendon Curtis, 63. Adam Plant, 52. Wagner is going to be 78. Thomas, Drake Thomas, good linebacker, 57. Schnenker, tight end, 86. Tarlis, defensive end, 79. You give somebody 79 at defensive end, they ain't hanging around for very long. Azizi Hearn, 48. Grant's going to wear number 40, and then I believe Spillane's got 41. I know he's not a rookie. Another New Jersey number then also is Josh Jacobs at number 8. And then if anybody cares, Cat, shout out to Rebel Montana, repping number 9. Let's go to the Ghost Regime. Okay, podcast by Mike. Only one getting signed should be Jacobs. Are you saying, like, the newest contract that the Raiders should have here? I also don't know what the whole podcast thing is, unless, like, that's your entire name. Josh should get a brand new contract. Like, to me, I'm not somebody that believes in, giving running backs the money. However, the way that this Raiders team has been constructed offensively, if you're going to have a quarterback like Jimmy Garoppolo and then your next options are Brian Hoyer or a rookie, you need to have a solid running game. Like, unless you're literally trying to tank. But then if you're trying to tank, why give an injury-riddled quarterback the amount of money that you did in Jimmy Garoppolo? So to me, McDaniels and Ziegler aren't trying to lose. And if you're not trying to lose, then you're going to try to keep Josh Jacobs around. So I agree. Jacobs deserves a contract extension. It's just going to come down to how much he would get. I'm saying what I would give him, 3 years, 38.4, backload the hell out of it with like 15.2 in the final 2 years. Let's go to Darius Raider. Sign Hopkins now. I told Jeremy I am willing to bet. I'm willing to bet my life that we get a DeAndre Hopkins question here today on the Raiders Report. For those that don't know, the Arizona Cardinals, they released Hopkins, and now he's a free agent. He can go, he can sign anywhere. If you were to ask me, Mitch, should the Raiders do it? Depending on what it costs, I'm not against it. Imagine trying to stop an offense of Devontae Adams. Then you have DeAndre Hopkins. You put, Myers, who's, to me, more of a slot receiver. And then you got Austin Hooper, Michael Mayer. Oh, yeah, we can still hand the ball off to Josh Jacobs. I don't care who your quarterback is. That's a really tough offense to stop. There's no doubt about that. And honestly, Hopkins probably fits what Jimmy Garoppolo likes to do. Doesn't throw it deep, big catch radius. If the only way that Hopkins doesn't go to Kansas City, doesn't go to the Chargers, as if he goes to the Raiders, yes, I'm on board for it. So, should the Raiders sign DeAndre Hopkins? Type S for sign, type P for pass. We're going to make this the pinned comment on today's show, which means you're going to get hit with a YouTube ad break. Scroll on down and let me know what you're thinking about the Raiders signing DeAndre Hopkins. Let's go to PG. Mitch, did you book Allegiant for your wedding? Very loud Raiders. As much as I would love to get married in Allegiant Stadium, one, I can't copy Savannah Jean or Patrick B. That's number one. Number two, Alex would kill me. Alex wants to get married in Mexico, which I'm absolutely on board for. I'm a family man, and my family can travel to Mexico. Her family in Mexico cannot travel to the United States. So for that reason, we will probably get married down in Mexico. But an Allegiant Stadium wedding would be legit. How about this? Jeremy and I will do a tour of Allegiant Stadium on June 10th at 1:20 p.m. if you're interested. Brandon, you're next up here on the Raiders Report. Mitch, what is locals? Can you enlighten me? Brandon, it's actually a really cool spot where you can get personal interaction, weekly live pick'ems only during the season. And it's an easier way for diehard Raider fans to get to know me, get to know other Raider fans out there. Like, I know every single time I do that. Buddy Bear, he's there. Wild One, he's there. Husker Raider, absolutely in there. Brandon Jasper, he's there as well. So Isaac Hernandez, absolutely going to be on Locals. And I think you guys check it out, RaidersReport.locals.com. Let's go to Eric M. You're next up here on the Raiders Report. Got my shirt, so I had to change my pick. Oh, shit, he did get it. Corn the long way. I love it. How many just win babies on Brady playing one snap this season for the Raiders? Top 20 defense. Top 20 defense is more likely than Tom Brady taking a snap this season. To me, the only way Tom Brady takes a snap for the Raiders this season is if Garoppolo gets hurt before the season starts. Like, it's not impossible for Brady to play this year for the Raiders. I get that he's, part owner, but he still technically could play. I talked about a little bit on my show from Thursday that according to NFL insider Jordan Schultz, he said that it's not impossible. And that would just be one of the most insane stories that I've ever covered here on this show. But I would say it's about a freckle on a just win baby. Let's go to Sergeant Fighter. Sign Hopkins. I give this one chuggy head. What does one chuggy head look like exactly? That's chugs for you. Hey, if we can get DeAndre Hopkins, it makes our team better, and I'm all about it. Let's go to Josh Benson. Renfro, Merrick for Simmons, and Baker straight up. Yes. I would do this. Like, I love Hunter Renfro. I think Javon Merrick can be a good safety. He just needs to show me a little bit more. But overall, like, you're telling me Hunter Renfro for Isaiah Simmons. We are taking a player that I like at Renfro and filling a big-time need in a player that I love coming out of Clemson and Isaiah Simmons. That's a yes. And then Merrick for Baker straight up. Buda Baker's a better safety. Nobody's going to dispute that than Trevon Merrick, right? Like, no, yes, Merrick's much, much older, like 3 or 4 years, but Baker's still only 27 years old. Are you going to pay him more? No doubt about it. I also look at it as you're getting a linebacker and you're getting a safety. Help out the defense. I am on board for it. Josh, I like the trade idea. Let's go to Juan Hernandez. Mitch, did you hear about the photographer suing Davante Adams? He said he was fearing for his life. Yeah, I saw. He's not only suing the Raiders, he's also suing the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm not going to refer to this man by name because this is a clear money grab. The number one rule that NFL photographers have is to make sure that players are at the utmost safe. And you get 15 minutes to clear the alleyway from when a team, when the soon as that game ends, you have 15 minutes to clear the way and nobody's allowed to be in the player's path. The best scenario, the best thing that I can even say to this is like, when that path is there, right? Imagine you are walking through a crosswalk, okay? You're walking through a crosswalk and a car cuts out in front of you and you end up running into that car. Davante Adams was the person walking on the crosswalk. This dude with the camera was the car driving by, trying to race past. Davante Adams isn't the one responsible. The camera guy's responsible. So it's clearly a money grab. He's probably going to get his money and get tickets to a game. Inside joke. Let's go to Hector. Would you trade Josh Jacobs for Devin White? No. I say this in the most respectful way possible. I don't want Devin White. Like, straight up, do not want Devin White. I think Chugs is just trying to troll me right now. But, like, I get the idea that Raider fans want a linebacker. Hell, I want a linebacker. But you're trading away arguably the best running back in the NFL for arguably the most overrated linebacker in the NFL. Like, and Devin White wants 18 to 20 mil. So you're going to tell me you're going to give Devin White, who is maybe the worst coverage linebacker in the league, 18 to 20 mil, but you're not going to give Josh Jacobs, like, I'd rather give Josh Jacobs $15 million a year before I give Devin White 18 to 20 mil. Like, no chance in hell am I doing this trade. And anybody that says that this makes sense, whatever you're having, I don't want it. Who wins this trade, though? I'm going to ask you. Chugs is just trying to get me going here. Type LV for the Las Vegas Raiders, or if you think it's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I want you to type TB. I'll tell you what. If this trade ended up going down, I would be Raiders blowing another 10-point lead mad with like 4 minutes left in the game. This one doesn't make any sense. Let's go to Rebel Montana. Got the jersey on today for Cat. I actually also have my other Rebel Montana jersey on. And then underneath that, I got the other Rebel Montana jersey on. How much would you offer Hopkins? How much would I offer Hopkins? I would say if I'm taking $11.6 million and I'm saving that from Renfrow, if I'm DeAndre, first off, like, I'm going to be looking for double-digit numbers, right? Like, if Odell Beckham Jr. is getting $15 up to $18 million, if I'm Hopkins, that's the type of money that I'm looking for. I probably wouldn't offer that if I was the Raiders, right? Where if I could save 11.6 by moving on from Renfrow, I actually do think DeAndre Hopkins is an upgrade over Renfrow. So, like, that's where I would start the negotiation. You're probably not going to get that. And then if you're Hopkins and if you're going to take 11.6, you're better off going to another team that has a better shot of winning the Super Bowl. Let's go to Mando. What up, Mando? How much would we have to trade for the first pick if we win 8 games? We need Williams to beat Patrick Mahomes and just... I mean, unfortunately, when you have the 2 quarterback prospects that you do in Caleb Williams and then Drake May, like, for what it cost Carolina to go from 9 to 1, I actually think in next year's draft, what it would be, like, it would be, Chugs just said in my ear, double it. I agree. Like, what Carolina had to give up to 9 to 1 is I think what the number 5 team in the draft would have to give up in next year's draft to go up that high. The other interesting thing is, what if the Houston Texans are bad again? That means the Arizona Cardinals could have a legit shot at having the number 1 and the number 2 overall pick. That would be the best case scenario for Raider fans or anybody looking to get a quarterback because they're not going to take both of those top guys. They would be more willing to trade back one of those picks. But, like, if you win 8 games and you're, like, in the teens area and you want to trade up to get one of those 2 guys, you might as well throw in 3 first-round picks, Devontae Adams, or a Max Crosby level type of player. And if you think that's too much, you ain't getting any of those guys. Now, today's show is presented by Panda Supps. And if you're trying to get into better shape this summer, I don't blame you. After the amount of food I ate at Cancun, I'm definitely trying to get into a little bit of a better path. Friday happy hour may not be the best way to do it, though. Hey, pandasupps.com. It's code TEST for 25% off. I recommend getting the test booster. And the best way that I can sell this product is this. How many people wish that they could wake up and feel 19 to 20 years old again? Honest question. If you're like me, type me down in the comments because this test booster, that's what it's exactly what it's going to do. It's going to help you feel 19, 20 years old again. You're going to get in the gym. You're going to crush your workouts. Then, if you're trying to shed a little bit of extra fat, I do think this Cuts product is one of my favorite fat burners out there on the Panda Supps website. It is underneath the Thermogenics tab. If you're not a pill taker, you can also take it in powder form. Pandasupps.com, code TEST. They have been a sponsor here on the show for over 2 years. Why? Their products, they work. I use them on the reg daily. If you follow me on social media, you'll know I use Panda Supps products. And then on top of that, the guy who owns Panda Supps, big-time Raider fan. Link's going to be available for you guys in the comments and in the description of today's video. Let's go to, you did it. If Renfrow, Kuntz, Amik get traded, what do we get for them? Well, for those of you that are watching live, we're actually going to be doing a Raiders trade candidates video, and I'll tell you how much each of those players is worth. For Renfrow, Kuntz, and Amik, you're not going to like the value that you're going to get. And it's simply because teams at this point are not really going to be willing to give up all that much. And if you told me right now, Renfrow, Kuntz, and Amik all got traded, I think you'd get a player, and you'd probably get 2 7th-round picks. Might not like it, but hey, that's the truth. Let's go to Nate. Will Justin Murray make the roster? This is a hell of a question here. I also say this. When I get questions like this on mailbags, Nate, I respect it for the simple fact of how many people out there are asking about the bottom-level offensive line. I would say that I know you're a real one because that's what Raider fans care about. Are we going to be able to protect our quarterback? Are we going to be able to protect our running back? And, you know, if you can't win in the trenches, you're not really going to be able to make it. In terms of Murray, though, what helps him out is he does have that versatility. He can play offensive guard if need be. I actually think he's better than Justin Herron right now if you were to have a backup to Colton Miller. However, though, if I were to make a 53-man roster and they're only going to keep 9 linemen, my answer would be no. If they keep 10, maybe 11, If they keep 11, yes. If they keep 10, though, it's a little bit of a coin flip. Some would say maybe even 2 just win babies. So, what do you think? Yes or no? Let me know loud and proud down in the comments. Will Justin Murray make the Raiders' 53-man roster? Give me a yes. Give me a no. I want to know what you guys have to say. Next one, rolling in here from Jeremy Cole. About the Patriots getting caught breaking rules again. Laugh aloud, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. I mean, does it surprise anybody? There are certain teams that they just try to cut corners. And I think the problem with the NFL is I think Bill Belichick got fined $50,000. What is $50,000 to Bill Belichick? Robert Kraft's going to hand him that check anyway. Like, $50,000 to Robert Kraft as if somebody came up to me and Jeremy right now and said, hey, you did this bad thing on YouTube. Give me a dollar. It might even be less than that. It'd probably be 50 cents. I'm going to keep doing it. If it helps me really achieve my goals, 50 cents is nothing. If the NFL really wants to cut out cheating, you really got to make a serious punishment. Kind of like what the Dolphins had. You lose your first-round pick, teams won't do that shit anymore. Eric, just saw that Gruden is helping out D.C. with the offense in New Orleans. I was waiting for this question to pop up here. And yes, it's 100% true. John Gruden is in New Orleans, and he's helping out Derek Carr, and he is helping out the Saints. I mean, I know Gruden is a football dude. Like, he loves football. He wants to be around it. Had the opportunity to meet him. Had the opportunity to meet Deuce many, many years ago, back in my time in college. And just sitting with those two guys, you're like, oh, yeah, these are football guys. So for Gruden to get back in the NFL world, no, it does not surprise me whatsoever. I will say this. It will surprise me if Jermaine Illuminor beats me in a competitive wing eating contest because I might not look like it. And this sounds weird, but my stomach has always been able to expand. And I think it shows with the amount of drinking that I'm able to do, with the amount of food challenges that I've won. And I'm confident I am going to beat Raiders starting offensive lineman Jermaine Illuminor. The event's going to be Saturday, June 10th. Save it in your calendar. It's going to be like $40 to get in, but the proceeds are going to go to a charity. You're going to be able to get pictures, autographs with Raiders players. It's going to be an amazing, amazing event from 5 to 8. It's going to be a hell of a time. So if you're in the Las Vegas area, look up Barcode Burgers right now. Amazing food. It's going to be a really cool event for a really good cause. Chugs and I are going to be out there. Please go check it out. It's also on my IG and my Twitter. Jason Hunter just wanted to say, hope you guys have a blessed and positive holiday weekend. You know what, Jason? I hope you have a blessed and positive holiday weekend. And before this mailbag started, I said every $50 super chat that comes in, I'd pour one up here. So, on behalf of Jason Hunter and behalf of everybody watching live right now, shout out to Hellcat Q. We're going to break out the Hellcat Q Freedom Funnel. Potbelly Mitch from Robert. I'll tell you what, my entire life I've been able to eat a lot of food. I don't know why, but my record for wings, Jermaine, if you're watching, ate 76 wings in 30 minutes back in college. Oh, they were actually barbecue, but I don't know if they can even hear you. Probably not. Anyway, follow me on Twitter. Follow me on IG, at MitchellRenz365. I'm going to knock back this Freedom Funnel here, and if you're like, watching this not live, these are the reasons why you watch live. Every Friday, Raiders Happy Hour, it gets going and it gets popping. So, Chugs, take it away.